All right, welcome everyone to the Dave and Kim show. We just decided to name it that. I'm happy to have Dave Okech with us from Kisumu, Kenya, and he has an application called Aquaresh, which
Correct.
I hope that you all have taken a look at his introduction to that product. But I'm so grateful to have Dave with us today because he's going to share with us a bit about his experience because he had an undergraduate consulting team here at the University of Iowa. And so I have a few questions for you, Dave. The first one is the team that you had in business consulting. What did you ask them to do? What problem did you have that they were solving? Or maybe what were the objectives for that project, if you can share with us?
Good. Thank you so much, Kim, for the wonderful introduction to the Kim and Dave show. Now, to go straight to the point, when we registered for the business consulting, it found when my company had some three major areas that we needed critical service on. And one was in the valuation of the company to try and determine what value was Aquaresh at that point in time. Was also on the customer acquisition cost that we were really looking at how to evaluate that and get what we'll call a reasonable estimate on how much customer acquisition costs for us as a mobile application company. And three, there was the element of the business development for Aquaresh. What were some of the routes that we were going to take? One of the questions was, if we are a mobile app-based company, how does that uptake look like with regards to fish farmers on the ground, fish traders? Are we going to adopt the Amazon way of doing business where we take the entire value chain? Or are we going to adopt the Alibaba way of doing business where once we connect the two parties to start transacting, then they continue? And I think the consulting class really helped in coming up with those solutions. And I think lastly, if I don't forget, was the element of developing a pitch deck, which you are going to use for fundraising, because we were in the process of meeting different investors. And for sure, yes, that has really helped. And we are pressing our fingers for a good feedback this month on our investment. Yeah.
That's great. I didn't realize you were pitching this month, so that's wonderful.
Yes, we
Awesome.
are.
Good. And so it sounds like the team was successful in meeting your objectives. Would you say that they were?
We were more than impressed by the team. And truly speaking, the team was very, very impressive in its deliveries that they gave us. I think what came out most strongly was that the team understood the business, and that was very easy. I didn't have to explain every day what Aquaresh is, but they understood it and they took it as if they are right inside the business. I would say as entrepreneurs trying to solve the problem for the business. So yes, that was an excellent delivery from the team.
Awesome. And I know that they did ask you for a variety of things. I mean, they spent some time up front getting to know your business, and I know you provided them with some detailed information too. So that really, really helped. It kind of leads into my next question. So tell us a bit about how often you met with the team throughout the semester and how did that go?
So the interaction with the team was really quite many. I can't remember how many times we did, but I will say it was more on a stage by stage and on a need by need basis, based on the information that we provided. So email and WhatsApp was the major source of interaction platform. Based on the information you provide, the team was able to get back to you for additional questions or feedback on that. To be specific, I think we met not less than 7 times during the entire period that the consulting work was ongoing. And sometimes there was meeting that was not actually calls. It was basically text messages. They get this information, what about this, etc., etc. So those ones were more interactive between me and the consulting team.
Great. Well, and all of that was happening, if I remember correctly, you were traveling all over. I mean, I think, you know, one time you were in Amsterdam at some conference. And so I know the team really appreciated your flexibility in being able to meet with them as well. So just, were there any challenges that you felt that you encountered in working with the team that you'd want to share?
Well, I think the challenges was largely on my side because of the traveling schedule. But either way, the team kept in touch with me a lot, and we kept on whichever time that there was network connectivity, good internet connection. We kept getting in touch, and I tried to respond within 24 hours. From the time they sent the email, or at least from the time I received the communication. So those were some of the challenges we had. But the good thing was that we were driven towards achieving the goals of the consulting team. So I wouldn't say there was much of a negative challenge. It was more of a positive challenge of traveling, but being able to communicate on the road.
Yes, and you were both committed, so you were going to make it happen, right?
Exactly,
And
exactly.
so just as the final question, do you have any suggestions for our new business consultants? They're just going to be finding out their clients in a couple weeks, and maybe you can talk a little bit about suggestions for them, and even how important or valuable you think this opportunity is.
So yes, two things. I don't know why I like mentioning things by numbers, but you know, Kim, my background is in mathematics, so I always like counting 1, 2, 3. But two things I will say. First is the consulting team needs to like, or for that matter, love what they are doing. They need to buy into the idea of the entrepreneur. If you have a consultant a team that has not bought into your idea, does not believe in it, they will end up doing it more of as a classwork or as a duty. But if you get a team like the one I got, Kimm, who loved the idea, believed in it, and were committed to getting it done, that's the most important thing. So I would say, as consulting team, first, please make sure you love the idea that the business that you want to really consult for. Because it's hard to deliver if you don't believe in that entrepreneur's idea. And if you also think it is not a worthwhile idea to consult, it's also fine. The second thing, Kimm, I would say is, as entrepreneurs, we are able to see the passion from the consulting team, and we are able to detect whether somebody is doing it for the sake of doing it, or somebody is doing it out of passion that he wants to do it for. So consulting team needs to learn that they are dealing with people who can read and see, is this consulting team really going to bring value? Are they committed to this or not? So don't assume by any chance that, we've been assigned this assignment, we are just going to pick the business and do it, and the entrepreneur is going to be happy, or the entrepreneur is going to love. No. The entrepreneur is equally committed to seeing, and that's going to depend on how you are going to relate a lot with the entrepreneur. So the relations with the entrepreneur is going to be key for your consulting success, and it needs to be good. And then you have to love the idea that you're going to be consulting for. Yeah.
Well, I love it that you identified two things. That's good. You know, it makes us remember, okay, number one and number two. And I think those are all really valuable points. And it is something that can sometimes be challenging, um, you know, for students in the classroom who've been working in the classroom and now they're getting ready to go out into the professional work world. And this is a great opportunity for them. And so we really appreciate the time that you've taken with our teams to help them along the way. And so I forget, did you have another consulting team prior to this last one? Have you had more than one?
Yes, Kim, this is the second consulting team I've had. And without going much into details, it's the second and the best consulting team I have had.
I kind of
Because
wondered about that because I thought he sounds like he's talking from experience here.
exactly, I have had experience in terms of consulting. So to be specific, from the University of Iowa, this is the second team I had from the University of Iowa, and they loved the what they are doing, and the communication was very good, and yeah, it was quite a good performance from the consulting team. So I think my comments, you're right, came from the experience I had before.
Yeah,
And
great.
probably after.
Yes, after, right. Well, thank you so much, Dave. I really appreciate you taking the time to visit with us and share that information with the students. And please know that we all wish you much success with your business, your life, your happiness, with everything.
Thank, thank you so much, Kim.
Thank
It's
you.
always